Think you can't compete against massive sellers on Amazon in the UAE? Well, think again. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 very important strategies that you can follow right now that sellers, small sellers just like you, are utilizing to win sales over massive big brands. Let's get to work. Hi, my name is Crystal from the Amazon Sellers Society. We are a certified Amazon service provider, and since 2019, we've been supporting sellers on Amazon, UAE, KSA, Egypt, as well as Turkey. Let's get into it. First of all, let's acknowledge some very important data. Amazon UAE in 2024, the estimated sales on the platform reached 1.5 billion US dollars, with a double-digit year-on-year growth expected. So all in all, there's a lot of sales. Yes, the majority of sales on Amazon always do come from well-known brands. However, there are strategies that you can follow in order to have the favorability of the A9 algorithm, because the A9 algorithm on Amazon doesn't favor brands or even the size of who the person selling the products is. Actually, the A9 algorithm favors relevancy of the product, the customer experience, and most importantly, conversion or sales. So what is the key takeaway I hope that you will find out of this video? If you are a small seller, you can outmaneuver big sellers because there are key things that you can do that big sellers normally don't really bother with. Let's get started with niche product selection. So this is starting with a very basic step, which is deciding on which products to sell to begin with. And in order to follow something like this, like to follow this strategy, you need to have access to data. Now, Amazon doesn't provide its own data. That's why we utilize tools such as my favorite tool, and the tool that if you watch any videos on the channel, you hear me talk about all the time, and that's Helium 10. Helium 10 is a great tool to provide you data so that you can assess and analyze. And by the way, we have a partnership with Helium 10. If you want to subscribe and utilize Helium 10, you are able to get 20% discount for the next 6 months membership. You'll find all the details linked in the description box of this video. So number 1, you need to utilize Helium 10 so that you can search for products that have keywords or search terms with high search volume. We're talking a minimum of 300 for the UAE, but also don't have a lot of competitors selling these types of products. So as an example, I logged into Helium 10 and I'm utilizing a tool called Magnet for the UAE marketplace, of course. And let's assume I want to sell a water bottle and I want to try to figure out if this is a good product. So I added water bottle and I got get keywords. Now, what I'm going to see is what is the search volume for the keyword water bottle and various other keywords that are also very similar. Now, you will notice here that the search volume for water bottle is 9,000 per month, which is absolutely wonderful. Let's look at other. So Helium 10 was able to find 1,362 filtered keywords. Some of them are going to be relevant, some of them are not probably going to be relevant. But let's look. For me, the most important thing is the search volume. That's why I'm going to click on search volume so that I can get highest to lowest. So there we go. Water. Owala is a brand. If you don't know what the keyword is, you can just simply put your mouse on the word itself and then you can see what the products are. Water bottle 500 milliliters. So the search volume looks to be really good. We can look at how many sponsored ASINs there are for each keyword, and then we can look at, most importantly, the competing products. So there are 200 or 250 competing products is not a big number, but something like 900 or 30,000 or 50,000 is certainly very huge numbers of products to compete against. So it would really make sense for you to have this type of data. Of course, you need to drill into it a little bit more to see what are these competing products and try to figure out whether or not there is any chance for you to sell this type of product. Few example categories that small sellers dominate very well on Amazon are kitchen gadgets, baby accessories, as well as something that's really slept upon, but that's local food products. And here's a very important data point tip. in Amazon, in the UAE market, eco-friendly products don't have a lot of search volume, but outside of Amazon, we see there's a huge demand for eco-friendly, sustainable products. So you can have a twist of whatever product you want to sell. Maybe you can have that type of angle to sell your products and get benefit from all of the demand that's not necessarily on Amazon, but the demand that's in the market. Strategy number 2, and that's pricing psychology. Large sellers normally focus on volume, hence why they normally have very low selling prices, and you certainly can't compete with those low selling prices. So here are a few strategies that you can do in order to increase your value. And strategy number 1, which I absolutely love, and that's bundling. For example, if you want to sell a yoga mat, you can sell a carrying strap with it, or maybe a digital downloadable PDF guide for a sun salutation or whatever movements that you would do in yoga. By creating that sort of a bundle, it positions you a little bit differently than other sellers, but also provides higher value for a customer. Number 2, I would suggest premium positioning. Yes, certainly if you sell your products at a smaller price, you do get more volumes of sales. But like I said, you can't always compete on price. So you can position your product as being, I would say, a premium product or a luxury product in terms of pricing, but certainly also in terms of quality. Now, before we move on to strategy number 3, always remember that small changes in price need to be also part of a great listing and great photos, and that's what ends up getting you sales. And speaking about photos, let's move on to strategy number 3. Optimized product listings beat low prices each and every time. Number 1, big sellers often ignore localization because big brands normally work with advertising agencies that create for them certain images, and they use these images across all of their Amazon markets. So they kind of forget localization. Localization doesn't only mean language localization, but localization also means the images themselves. Like, for example, you can't have images for a product that you're selling in a market in the UAE where people are going hiking in the forest somewhere, because it just doesn't make sense. There is no forest. So you need to convert and make sure that your images kind of display the culture and the market where you are selling your product. Additionally, you can add Arabic text if you think that your products can be positioned for the local community. You can position your products, add Arabic on your text, on your images, as well as English. Don't forget to be mobile friendly as well. Data shows about 60% of customers purchase products on Amazon via mobile. So it's not a huge number, but it's still a significant number. So you need to ensure that your listings are mobile friendly, your bullet points, your titles, everything is very easy to consume on a mobile phone. And a huge percentage of shoppers actually search for products or utilize Amazon using the Arabic language. So you also need to make sure that you add Arabic keywords into the back end of your listings. You also need to make sure that your listing looks good in Arabic. Remember, if you need help and support with these strategies or any support with selling on Amazon, you can book a call with myself and the team to find out a little bit more about our programs and how we can help and support you. All details in the description box of this video. You don't need a big budget. You don't need to be a big seller. You just need the right strategies and the right product to compete successfully on Amazon and to start making sales. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you in another video with more information. Bye.